work before the first gen even pops.
Make you wanna call my name.
Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Vigo's Court. I'm your judge, Little Ruegard, and with me today is once again Counselor Poggy.
Poggy,
We've got
I'm
a
Poggy.
Fantastic setting. I'm done. Out. Sorry. Bye.
Already?
We got a great game for you guys today. We got Loop Artist versus PGS, conference rivals, game 1 of today, and they'll be playing on the Sanctum of Wrath with 156 square tiles, 9,984 meters squared, 6 hooks minimum, 11 hooks maximum, and that one permagen at the shrine itself. And as Sam told us, what was it, 2 weeks ago? That is not the one to complete first. So
Right.
I stand corrected. You want that gen done second or third, preferably. So good to know. Oh, that is a Legion.
And
I didn't think we'd see a Legion
for
today.
one,
Third or fourth. Third or fourth.
I, for one, love the Sanctum of Wrath. It's one of my favorite maps. Not my favorite, but one of my favorites. Top 3, for sure. But I like
I
blend
appreciate the
maps.
flavor of it. I think it's a really cute feature that the totems follow you around when you're not looking. I can appreciate that. That is client-based, by the way. That's not server-based. That is a client-based feature. So it'll appear differently for each person,
Sure,
which
yeah,
is
that
probably a
makes
good
sense.
idea. Wouldn't that be funny
So-
if Spirit was ghosting through and the survivors just saw the heads turn as the Spirit walked by? That'd be pretty great.
We're
Legion
waiting
says no?
on
Okay.
we're waiting on the Survivor Squad to join us right now. I don't know who they are, PGS. I don't know any of these guys.
PGS.
Have we ever heard of them? I mean, are they new
I don't know.
here?
PGS sounds like one of those teams that we would have beaten last week or something. I don't know.
I'm actually seeing most
Sorry.
of them on my friends list as being in a match still. So I guess they're maybe they're wrapping up. I don't know. Maybe they're wrapping up. But
So we got a prediction
ladies and
going that
germs.
says
no, we have some stats we got to look at too. So go ahead and tell me your prediction, and then we'll switch over to stats after that. But yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
right now chat has it as Loop Artist 12K to PGS 2K for winning this first trial. I'm not quite sure. I know that PGS is a really good Survivor Squad, so I think they'll hold their own, but Loop Artist might pull it out. Loop Artist is a pretty dang good team. You know, my killer sensei is among them, so they are no pushover. What stats we got? I'm curious.
Actually, Loop Artists and PGS are both pretty decent teams, and here are the stats for both teams as they stand. Now, the stats have gone through a recent update again, but these teams are pretty close. These teams are very close,
Ooh,
actually.
those
But
gen
PGS
rates.
actually has a higher average score, and yeah, the gen rates are really good. 95% for PGS, 100% for Loop Artists, so not bad at all. And the hook differentials are very similar, so this could be a very close matchup between these two teams. Really close, actually. Disturbingly close.
That is
Edge of your seat.
Those stats are really close.
They are. And honestly, this is huge because PGS, again, is the team I came from last season. And when I first started, this is before I was even streaming anything. Like, I was still just feeling my way around Vigo's Court and what it's about. And I was like, oh my God, this team is so cool. And actually, they struggled. They struggled a lot. And as the season went on, they just got better and better and better. And now we're seeing them like keeping up with the likes of Loop Artists. Loop Artists is a strong team. So,
Loop
I mean,
Artist
it's
is-
impressive to see how many of these teams are turning it around this season from last one, and just continuing to get better and better and better. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
bro,
sure.
they were here last season. For demo. I know it was a joke. I was on their team. It was a joke.
Oh goodness. No, I did not actually realize the stats were that close. That's impressive. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a really
they
close
are very
game.
close.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Um,
It's funny. After you showed that, pretty good squad gained another 1K worth of predictions. So,
oh boy.
maybe you're convincing the crowd. I don't know.
We might be convincing them. And I will also point out, Sam mentioned it before the stream, and it's worth pointing out that the 7 o'clock game today is conceded. D-Hop versus Siphon. D-Hop, I believe, conceded the game because they couldn't get the scheduling right. So the final score, Sam, will be what again? 48 something?
48-0.
Right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. And so that is a canceled game. So said no 7 o'clock tonight, but there will still be the 10 o'clock. And for those of you that are wondering, that is going to be this guy over here on Undying
Port
Alliance
Mafia.
against Port Mafia. So that should be fun. And I hear that you're going to bring one of each killer tonight. Like you're going to just keep switching out every single killer for all 4 games. Yeah. Is that
The
right?
survivors will not be playing tonight. It's just going to be me 4 times facing Port Mafia survivors 4 times.
Right. And you're gonna do each and every killer, so all 32 of them, just in succession.
Yeah,
trying to keep them on their toes.
We're gonna keep it to where I'll switch killers every time they do 2 gens, and every time I get 3 hooks.
Right.
So
okay.
every 2 gens and 3 hooks, I have to switch killer.
That makes sense.
It's a new format, guys. It's a new game format that Behavior gave just to us.
I actually thought, isn't there like an old perk or like an offering that made it so that you could have like power of another killer? Isn't that a thing that used to exist?
For license or intellectual property killers, yes, they gave you an iridescent offering in your blood web that you could take, and it would make you play as that killer instead and give you, a demo of what that killer would be.
But with no
I
add-ons
still
or
have
perks.
some. No add-ons or
With
perks.
no add-ons or
correct.
perks. Right.
I
Okay.
tried it. I have a couple still.
I wonder how this is going to affect the game because we're having the update very soon. I think, is it like tomorrow or something? It's coming, or next week? Is it tomorrow?
It's Tuesday, I think. Usually updates
Tuesday.
occur on Tuesday for Behavior, yeah.
Okay, so Tuesday we're going to have the update. There's going to be a change to a lot of stuff, including the UI, and I'm going to have
the ninth.
I'm going to have to look at it and update our UI, this thing, to match the new UI, which actually shouldn't be that hard. I don't think it'll be that hard because I already did it in the PTB. I tested it, and all it really took was I think we just removed the logo and then moved the scores to the left and to the right and down a little bit. I think that solved it. And then the hook counters, we can move those up to where the other hook counters will be, or maybe we move them all together. I don't know. The hook counters that
really
are in
only showed
the
at
new
that
update.
point.
I don't know though, because ours are
really
more
funny.
visual. And yeah, go ahead.
Is if they just move them. Like the UI just starts shifting on its own. Or like Doctor's Madness makes it like, the stuff just pop everywhere so they're not in any one given place. Actually, that'd be
Rolls
a
around the
really,
screen.
really sweet Doctor feature at some point where Doctor just messes with your UI straight up.
That doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying, that would
I
be...
mean, it kind of does already.
Oh, that'd be great.
No.
Just saying.
No. So the only thing I'm seeing right now is that Goth's Princess appears to be having some issues getting into the lobby. But everybody else is here. We got Cybot Lel, Gother G, Mr. Beautiful, and Pretty Good Fang. The only one we're not seeing is that one, Goth's Princess, who now is in. So maybe they had to restart their thing or whatever, having NAT issues or something. But they're back. No worries. No big deal. They're here. And I think we're going to be going soon. Right now, we're seeing 2 toolboxes. I suspect we're going to see Gother G and Goth's Princess. Yeah, bringing both a med kit, as we expect as well. So Alpha RPG says the new UI is trash. Yeah, I mean, I did like a whole 1-minute video on it. So
Again, I think that while the short terms people don't like it, I think the long term implications of much more wide or like much more broad changes to the UI and structures added to it, I think is a huge benefit. Even if short term it does look kind of annoying.
And I'm with you, Rue. The new UI is awesome. Fuck you, Poggy.
No, the UI actually sucks in terms of the way it's laid out. It's cool in the stuff that they added to it. I think that they should put it back in the corner, though, where it was. It's the stuff all over the screen that I hate. But everything else I like. I like the ideas. I mean, even though the colors are a little weird, but I like the ideas of what they're trying to add to it. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to be playing the game that much. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, so
You have
I'm
been
just
playing
here
Red
to
Dead Redemption
commentate.
2.
Honestly, it's the guys that were
We are
watching
not
play the
sponsored
game.
by Red Dead. We are
No.
not sponsored by Red Dead. So like,
Who thought we
We're not
were?
sponsored by anything. What are you talking about?
Horse Simulator. That's what that game is.
I'm
Horse
pretty sure
Simulator.
nobody thought that Rockstar was sponsoring our stream. Just so we're clear, nobody
matter.
thought that.
Doesn't matter. I just felt like shitting on Red Dead Redemption.
Whatever.
Oh, goodness. You know, at least Horse Simulator is better than Lobby Simulator.
I mean, right? What are we
Just
playing
saying.
right now, Sam? What is this game?
It's DS
Ooh.
Simulator for all for demo.
Oh, jeez.
Anybody looking forward to the DS update? I am.
I think we talked about it. I think it's a bit harsh, but I do like it overall. Oh goodness. DS has come a long way, hasn't it? Being from literally a free get off the killer's back perk to becoming a, now it's essentially strictly, hey, for 60 seconds, you really shouldn't touch me. So
Yeah, free invincibility
Yeah.
for 1 minute. It became a
Yeah.
momentum killer, and it's supposed to be an anti-tunnel perk, and now I think they're finally making it properly an anti-tunnel perk, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Even I play both sides pretty equally, so
I still think they should
Oh,
have
y'all
made the
owe a
timer
high
pause.
five before this game starts.
Oh, we do?
make me.
All right. Poggy. Yes. Thank you.
Anyway, our
Oh my
Survivor
goodness.
Squad and Killer Squad are all going in, so I think we're about ready to go. We're going to run them rules for you guys so you can get a feel for what this game's all about, and we'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen and we're here, Week 3 matchup, conference rivals, Loop Artists versus Pretty Good Squad. Once again, 2 really even teams going head-to-head tonight, and I'm actually looking forward to it quite a lot. I'm excited to see how these 2 do against each other. It may be really boring. Sometimes when you see 2 teams that are really, really, really close, it can be boring because they have a lot of long games where everything feels kind of drawn out, but it could also be really, really action-packed from the other side. We'll see. We'll see. It just depends. There have been games that were really close, like CDM, I think, versus Deity had I think one really exciting game, but the other ones, it was just like stalemate until, something happened. And then, so I don't know. But we're going in now. Let's see what we got. We got Mr. Beautiful, Cybot Lel playing Oni, Goth's Princess, Pretty Good Fang, and Gothergy. That is our Survivor Squad and our killer, Cybot Lel, who brought Corrupt Intervention as well, and is looking around either for his 3-gen and trying to get an idea of where he's going to set his 3-gen, and I think he just spotted Gothergy over there by the rocks. And Pretty Good Fang as well. And he's going to be going for the chase with PGF. And doesn't kick the pallet right away. Instead, Pretty Good Fang going to use Lithe over the top of the pallet to get to the next pallet loop, and he does not respect, and she does take a hit. I think she was counting on a pallet respect. Ooh, and she makes a mistake and goes down quickly. Ooh. Pretty Good Fang having a rough start, unfortunately. But she also went down right inside of the Corrupt Intervention area, which could be really bad for this team. We've seen that before, where when the early down is inside the corrupted gens, I believe it can be very dangerous. Unless I have that backwards. Do I have that backwards? I think I do. Right? Because they're inside the corrupted area. If they were inside the non-corrupted area, that's where it would be the worst, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. Rue, what do you think of that?
I'm actually confused by the question. I apologize.
No, it's okay. So I was saying that whenever you get a survivor down inside the corrupted area, it can be really dangerous in the end game. But I guess what I was thinking of is inside the 3-gen uncorrupted area. I think that's what I was thinking of. That's my fault, guys. Early morning, afternoon for you guys, but it's literally 5 in the morning over here. Anyway, Goth Princess, ooh, nice dead hard through and does drop the God palette nice and early. And we do see, of course, Oni charging his power and now probably going to go for the down on one of the other survivors. He does see some scratch marks, but doesn't locate anyone. Seeming a little bit confused. Yeah, he looks very confused. He's like, wait, I saw scratch marks. Where the heck are they? And I believe Goth Princess maybe just killed a totem and might be going down around the corner if she's not careful, but does manage to use the rock to her advantage. Oni not quite able to land the hit. And, oh, Goth Princess gets a little eager, goes through without looking around to see where the killer was and goes down as a result. Wasted pallet, unfortunately. Oh, jeez. Thank you, Sam. And Oni gets a hook. And a generator completes as well. And now chasing after Mr. Beautiful. Gonna work his way around the rocks. And does land a nice hit on there as well. We also see Goth Princess getting off the hook. Taking a borrowed time hit. Very nice. And I believe Goth Princess might be getting tunneled. Ooh, yeah, she's going to go down quick. But Oni going to leave her behind, probably fearing for Decisive Strike or wanting to just get another down. Now, I wonder if these survivors are going to be able to get her up or if they're going to just leave her here to be murdered. I'm not really sure. Oni is coming back for her, though. And does go for the pickup. A generator getting completed. And we do see Goth Princess dropping that DS play on Oni. Oni's probably feeling the pressure now with that generator popping at the same time the DS went off. The only hope now is that Goth Princess gets enough distance to get to some safety. And I do believe she is still being chased. Ooh, but Oni maybe lost her or got off track. And instead is going towards Gothergy's corner. Sounds like a new TV show idea. Gothergy's corner. Cybit Lel not able to get a hit on him, though. As he does drop that pallet immediately, not risking it. That is not a very safe area for a pallet. A lot of these pallets can be a little unsafe, actually. And he does get his power. Gets the pallet out of the way, chasing after Pretty Good Fang now. Doesn't quite land the hit, a near miss. And Fang using that wall very effectively. This long wall can be very difficult to work around, especially as an Oni. It's basically like half of a Killer Shack wall. And she's using it to great effect. Unfortunately, doesn't get it here and goes down because she went through 3 times, not able to vault it back. And, oh, that is going to be another hook for Pretty Good Fang. Second hook now with 3 gens remaining. Gothergy and Goth Princess going to finish one, and then Mr. Beautiful about 50% through theirs. As Oni gets graphically stuck on the screen. Gothergy going in for the unhook. Mr. Beautiful working on his generator again, still getting up pretty good. Where in the heck is this killer? There we go.
Oh my goodness.
What the hell? Gothergy now taking a hit off the hook, not able to get Pretty Good Fang right away, and he may be wanting to tunnel down. Ooh, and another generator completing. Yeah, that's the one we were looking at. 1 generator remaining for this squad. They are doing a fantastic job. Ooh, and getting down right at the fence. Very, very nice. by Cybot.
Oh, that looked weird.
Yeah, it did look a little bit like, but I mean, that's normal. From my screen, a lot of these hits can sometimes look laggy because I'm at a high ping. So even if it doesn't feel laggy to them, it looks laggy to me, usually. So it's a thing. Anyway, Pretty Good Fang does ultimately go down, but isn't being picked up right away. Instead, he's trying to finish using his power, and then is going to go in for the pickup. Now, if she has a decisive strike, she'd get off, and she does DS the killer. Ooh. So a second DS, obviously that's the only two there are, because they can only bring 2 of that perk, of every perk, really. And Pretty Good Fang is doing a pretty good job so far, I would say, and does actually get abandoned completely, as instead Oni's going to try to pressure generators. Gothorgy kind of doing some sneaky play. Mr. Beautiful taking a hit outside Killer Shack. And Oni charging his power again to go for another jog around the map. Looking out, actually, for Goth's Princess, who would be on second hook if she gets downed. Loop Artist is having a hard time getting a lot of hooks, with 4 generators done and only 3 hooks so far. If he gets Pretty Good Fang or Goth's Princess down, he might be able to go for a confirmed kill. And he does get her down and is going to get her on second hook, at least. And Pretty Good Fang getting a totem out of the way. And Mr. Beautiful coming out of a locker. Coming out of the closet, as it were. God's Princess just hanging out for a bit. I think these servers might be focused on the gen first. May or may not leave her to die on hook, as they may not want to risk going for an unhook. As you know, at this point in the end game, they could just give him the hook progression and try to get out. But we'll see how they play it. They are kind of focused on that gen.
Look at how even the score is right now.
It's very close right now. 6-6 in favor of no one. I guess if no one wins, the entity wins. I don't know how this works. Anyway, we already know Gothorgy has borrowed time, and the last generator completes. Pretty Good Fang and Mr. Beautiful finishing their generator. And we saw Goth's Princess kind of get away. Gothorgy taking aggro, who has not been hooked yet. Goth's Princess hiding away. Gothorgy doing a really good job chasing around that generator. Excellent plays by this Survivor squad against Loop Artists. Very strong showing from Pretty Good squad. Goth's Princess does go down and will be on third hook if she gets hooked. But Cybot Lel's not satisfied. He wants to go for more downs, but he does lose his power, unfortunately, so isn't able to get it. Let's just see how he plays this. So we do see that they're working on this door over here. And Gothorgy is going to take a hit. I think that's like the first hit he's taken. Pretty Good Fang taking a hit right at the gate. And doesn't bother to hold out, opening the gate, but takes a down as a result. And Pretty Good Fang is going to get last hook. Yeah, that's a death hook for PGF. And I think they're going to take their leave and be on their merry. There they go. They're all getting out now. And I do believe that was both exit gates open, because the other one was way on the other side of the map. Am I not mistaken? Yeah. And we also see Hatch right there. So they did get both gates open. Mr. Beautiful went across the map to get that one open a little bit earlier. That's why we didn't see him in the chase. And unfortunately, Cybot Lel didn't really go for the Hatch play, which could have been an extra point. I don't know. Strange choice to not do that. That's possible. He may have overlooked it, being a little bit salty from the loss. I mean, he didn't really lose. He just didn't really win either. But there's 3 trials left, so we'll see how they do. I'm not trying to poo-poo. Sorry. That sounded mean when I said salty. I didn't mean it like, you know, he's pissed off an angry party. But I would feel a little bit of salt getting only 4 hooks or 5 hooks.
True. The score is correct.
Okay, well, hopefully this other thing is correctly working. I guess we'll find out in just a moment. If you guys give me 1 second, I'm gonna confirm it before we go. Let's do that. And Rue, I'm going to have you take us through the highlights after we do this post-game review.
All right.
And then we'll be right back after this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching Week 3 matchup, Conference Rivals Loop Artists versus Pretty Good Squad. Fantastic showing so far. Here was your trial number 1 post-game review. Please be right. Please be right. I think it's right. All right, we saw 5 generators get done in trial number 1. So far, so good. And we also saw 3-man escape. Very well played by Pretty Good Squad with only 5 hooks for the killer, less than half of what you need. And unfortunately, only 1 kill for the killer. Really well done, though, by both sides. 13-24, nearly doubling their score. Pretty Good Squad is going to get a lead into trial number 2. And, oh, boy, that looks interesting. That's curious. That's a curious thing. That's not their logo. Oh, boy. Well, obviously, we still have stuff to work on.
I was under the impression the green screen was working, but apparently...
That was the paint from their logo.
Yeah, that was the paint from the logo. We just wanted to show the paint. Yeah, that's the best part of it. So, anyway, Rue, take us through some of these highlights. Oh, boy.
Well, I'm not really sure. Like, I liked the killer's build. I think it was a solid build for Oni. And honestly, PGS played with Ruin up for most of the game up until I think the last 2 gens needed to be completed. Maybe even the last 1 gen before Ruin really got cleansed. So Ruin was up a lot of the time. I just don't really think that Oni pressured that much. And again, Oni got his his ability was on most of the time. Like he was he got some early hits and some early hooks, and then maybe the survivors are just really, really adept at, making Oni whiff on his power. Because if you got long walls or whatever, you can make Oni whiff quite a bit. Honestly, like a lot of geometry is really hard for Oni to get around from what I've experienced. You can drift and whatnot, but I think it was Goth's Princess that did it specifically during that last gen that Gothragy was working on in the shack.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of rocks outside and they just constantly were looping around it. And I think what I would have done is I would have tried less demon dashing, as I would just try to use his ability normally. Not like a normal hit, but just charge up the M1 and lunge with his ability, because you can get the instant down in that way. That's how you get those short loops instead of getting looped around the rock. So I really don't know what happened here. They had their ability way more often than you'd expect in a comp game, so they were getting hits constantly, keeping their ability going. I think they only got like 2 instant downs that whole game. So I don't know. They didn't seem to really concentrate on any kind of 3-gen to hold down. Maybe it was Oni was in character and just had bloodshot eyes for most of the matches, enraged with whatever was in front of him, just smacking down. So I don't know. I'm honestly shocked that they didn't get more hooks. With that many powers going off, I thought I would have seen more hooks, but I don't know. I will ask them if they come in what happened this game, because this was kind of surprising. Because it's not like Cybot's a bad killer by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know. This was not the showing I was expecting for this first round. And like to PGS's credit, they did really well. They were constantly looping. They spread out. It's unfortunate that the 2 people that they targeted both had DS. Eating those 2 DSs might have been pretty backbreaking. The first DS, you're like, okay, well, there's a 1 in 3 chance next round of getting a DS, and you just literally ate both of their decisives. So, it was tough. That was tough. They did throw pallets quite often, though, so they were trying to deny the Oni power as much as possible. Just, Oni don't care. He gets smacks at some point anyway. Yeah, like even here, like they could tell they weren't having problems locating survivors most of the time. It's just the survivors constantly had good geometry to go loop at. And it just happened to be that I think they should have used less Demon Dash. I think that's ultimately what it is. Use less Demon Dash, use more Lunge. But what can I say? I don't play Oni a ton. I like Oni, but I don't play it very much. And like right here, like Pretty Good Fang was just looping the crap out of Oni here.
She really did. Did a really excellent job there. And I want to ask, Sam in the background, I don't know if you're still here, but Vexify is asking in the chat, are we allowed to host? We want to play on our ping.
Yes, they are.
Okay. The answer would be...
This is already being
yes.
sorted. This is being sorted. I don't know why he's asking you.
Oh, he's not really asking me. He's asking the chat in the actual stream. So, yeah, there it is. Anyway, we're here now. We got all these guys in the chat now that are... I'm sorry, in the group. In the Survivor Squad, we have X-Elite Gamers, Cybetlel, Lex0613, and Asteroid621. A whole team of... A team we've seen many times. Really good team.
Hey, Poggy.
Of survivors. Yo, hi, hello.
I think it's worth pointing out that the current prediction for Trial 2 is neck and neck. 4K to Loop Artist, 5K to PGS.
Wow, 49 to 51%. That is interesting.
That's a huge gap closing compared to the previous one, which was like 12K to 3K.
Yeah, that's...
in favor of Loop Artist.
No matter what you do, half of our audience is going to be butthurt, so... We'll see.
Mood. And you're right. This is we have seen this team many times before. So, and I've played against the Survivor Squad personally. They are no laughing matter. I'm not saying and we know that Gothurgy is a phenomenal killer too. So this is going to be a very exciting match. I would expect. These
I'm looking forward to laughing.
Strong sides.
I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha.
I'm in danger.
By the way, I love Ace's outfit.
Hashtag
Definitely one of my
free
favorite outfits. Free Roo. Okay, so apparently also one of the, Sam, I guess one of the player outfits isn't showing on the website, but it's actually on there. That's an issue that's probably on my end. I'll take a look at it if I can before we get started, just so we can confirm.
I know exactly what happened. It's funny because everyone else has forgotten except for me, which is weird. And Rue.
Okay.
Rue didn't know, but everyone else, including you, have seemed to have forgotten what happened. So
Forgotten what? I don't know. What did we forget? I want to know what I forgot.
we can talk about it later. It's not important.
No, it's important to me. I want to know now. What did I do wrong? What did I break?
You did
We can
nothing
talk
wrong.
about it later.
You're perfect the way you are, Poggy.
All right, fine. Fine, we'll talk about it later.
You're
Fine.
beautiful.
Fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. It's true. Copyright infringement incoming.
Oh,
Twitch
folks.
has perfect copyright laws. Don't at me.
Poggy, play Hag? I can't play Hag. What do you mean play Hag? I can't
just
play
tell
while we're
Gothurgy
live.
to move over. You're subbing in.
Yeah, I'm going to sub in for Goth tonight.
There we go.
No, I think that's a really bad idea, actually. I'm not practiced at all. I'd be really rusty. And going up against Loop Artists, they're going to destroy me if I even tried to do that. That'd be a rough
Chat
match
was
to
agreeing,
watch.
I think, with that sentiment earlier that Fang just looped the mess out of that. That was really
she
well
did
done.
really well. I mean, she did end up dying in the end, but I mean, ultimately, it was somebody was probably going to die at that end game. It was either going to be Gothurgy or Goth's Princess or someone, because they were all kind of huddled around, and he did have his power towards the end there. So somebody was going down, you know. But it worked out, and I don't think it really mattered who went down. Maybe if Goth's Princess is going down, she would have gotten, or he would have gotten an extra point. I don't know. Or Gothurgy, it would have equaled out to, I guess, what is it, 1 progression point and then 2 progression points. So it would have been the same number of points, I think, as getting a third hook on Fang. So anyway, just a thought. And they're all readying up. Again, 2 toolboxes, 2 medkits. These teams are known for going pretty standard. They don't go for crazy, you know, plays or anything insane. They like to play very, I guess, standard, you know. I don't know if that's the right way to put that, but without risk. Very low risk play. Can't leave Poggy hanging. People leave me hanging all the time. What are you talking about? Anyway, they're going in, they're readying up, and we're going to take a quick break as we look at the rules for how the killer games are played and how they do their scoring. We'll be right back. All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset. All right, everybody, we're back here again with Week 3 matchups, conference rivals, Loop Artists versus Pretty Good Squad, and I'm looking forward to this next game. I think it's going to be interesting to see if Loop Artists is able to pull ahead with their Survivor Squad against Gothurgy. Gothurgy is pretty strong on Killer. Loop Artists, though, pretty strong on Survivor, so really tough to say, and our audience is still split. Well, they only have like 6 more seconds. It'll be done by the time I finish saying this. 53 to 47% going out in favor of Loop Artists by a very small margin. So I don't think it's going to be...
That is a razor-thin margin.
Yeah, I think that the audience's opinion is probably very reflective of reality. And at least we'll see in a moment. We're still loading in at the moment and just kind of waiting on the game. Whew, I am on the edge of my seat with this one, guys. Loop Artists and PGS. I'm actually rooting for PGS a little bit. Just because they're an old school team. But I'm unbiased for the most part. So we see Cybot Lel on a Nancy as well. Ooh, Goth bringing my favorite killer, the Hag. I think he's playing tribute to me. This is all about me, is what this is. Yeah, he's like, we miss you, Poggy. We're going to play a Hag just for you. So, early game for the Hag tends to be a little bit boring. She has to kind of get set up, you know, lay down her traps and all that. And these survivors, that means they're going to get an early head start, probably getting 1 or 2 generators out of the way quickly, unless Gothurgy can interrupt them. Now, unfortunately, Kate did... Or was that Kate? Nancy. Nancy did end up exploding her generator pretty quick. Gothurgy seems to be trying to chase around something. Does find Nancy. Swings a little early and doesn't quite land the hit. And Nancy does get away. Gothurgy trapping the generator. And the survivors are kind of just scrambling at the moment. Seeing now, of course, it's a Hag, they're going to be a little more careful, I suspect. But Loop Artist does trigger 1 trap and then immediately gets away. So no ITH for Gothurgy. And he's kind of chasing towards the Nia into the back of the Sanctum of Wrath. But doesn't commit. Gothurgy's having a very slow start to this, not getting any hits or downs yet. Only has 2 traps in his toolkit right now, which means most of his traps are on the board. But the survivors are kind of focused on gens. This could be really rough. He definitely needs to start getting some pressure. He does manage to get an ITH on Cybot. Very nice. Almost gets a second one, but she had already tripped that one, so it wasn't quite fast enough. But Gothurgy at least lands a hit on her. She does drop her toolbox. We see Franklin's demise in play. And another generator popping in the meantime. And this is kind of what this is what happens in all my Hag games as well. 2, maybe 3 gens will pop in the opening, and then you can just start to snowball. But if you don't get that snowball pressure very quickly after the 2nd or 3rd gen pops, then it can be a very difficult, if not a complete loss for you as the killer. Okay, Deathbound. Interesting. Asteroid 621 taking a hit on an ITH, and a 3rd generator does pop in the process. This is the risk of Hag, really, is if the Survivor Squad knows how to counter it, you can lose a lot of points up front with generators getting done. And he is definitely going for ITH, is getting a little bit eager. And not really landing most of them. Only getting 1 ITH so far, I think. Maybe, actually, no, I think I got the ITH on Nia as well. I kind of missed it, but I think that was an ITH.
One thing I will say, Poggy, I have played Hag against Loop Artists before, and it was not pretty. I think they are very well prepared for Hag.
I think so, too. And ASMR Dwight Moan says, this is going to be a long game. I don't know. It may actually be really short, based on how this is going so far. Gothurgy does find Nancy again. Everybody's fully healed. They've been able to reset every time he gets a hit. The only luck he might have is if Nancy does run into one of the traps in this area. This area is fully trapped up for the most part. But seems like she's not really going to end up hitting a trap. Either she knows where they are, or she's just getting lucky. What is that? What was that? Cybot doing a little point and then taking a hit. And Gothorgy kind of taking all of his teleports and still not really able to land any ITH hits. ITHs. ITH, that's like ATM machine. Sorry about that. Is he going to go for the hook on Nancy? Yeah, I think he is. So he is finally going to get his first hook. This is where his opportunity for snowballs is going to come into play.
I think they're going to break his 3-gen.
Ooh, not just break the 3.
No.
I think it'll get all the gens done.
Oh,
I think this is going to be GG, actually. I think this is it. We're going to see this gen pop followed immediately by the other one right here. She is tapping away. There it goes. 5 gens going to get completed. Is she going to use a deliverance or get a borrowed time from someone else? What's going to happen here? We don't really know yet. We do see the 5th gen pop. He does get adrenaline on Lex. Very nice. Possible borrowed time play here as well. Cybot off the hook in basement. Everybody got out. These survivors are not having a hard time with this hag at all. Gothorgy struggling to make headway. Only getting 1 hook so far this entire game. May actually secure another one. But ultimately, I think this is going to be either a 3 or 4 man escape. This is hard to watch. Honestly, I think his biggest mistake Gothorgy made was trying to get too many ITH. And I think if he had been a little more patient, he might have just been able to chase them for a second and then get the hit. Going for the ITH, it does waste a little bit of your time. It slows you down a bit. You're not able to catch up the survivors. If he'd just taken the teleport and then ran for them. After the first, maybe the second ITH miss, I might have started saying, all right, I'm just going to take the teleports and then just run for them rather than going for ITHs. And they do gang up on the hook, trying to get the unhook. They're going to get it, though. Oh, that's going to be a 4-man escape, isn't it? This could be really close. Gothorgy may be able to catch up with one of them and get somebody out. But, I don't know. This gate is also pretty far away from here. But these survivors are making their way that direction. Everybody is injured, though. Hag being a little bit slower, but may not matter as they're getting very close to getting down. If they can catch up. Ooh, boy, this is going to be tight. Nia is the only one kind of caught out of place right now, so maybe he's going to try to focus down the Nia. Gothorgy is definitely feeling some pressure right now. And Nia gets the hatch play. Very nice. Gothorgy being denied completely, only getting 2 hooks that entire game. Ooh, that is painful to see. You hate to see it. His build really quick. Pop goes the Weasel, Dark Devotion, Franklin's Demise, and Deathbound. Honestly, not a great build in my opinion. I would not have gone this direction with it. I get where his head was at. I think he wanted to like scare the survivors into losing his terror radius for with Dark Devotion. I would have probably preferred Monitor and Abuse, and then Deathbound I probably would have gone with Nurse's Calling, getting the sort of the what do you call it? Hit and run. The hit and run style is how I usually play Hag. So I would have done these 2 perks are fine. Pop Goes the Weasel and Franklin's Demise. And Dark Devotion and Deathbound I would have changed out for Nurses and Monitor and Abuse. Giant Cicada, fine by me. Rusty Shackles, I don't really love them, and I don't really think it helped them very much here. I would have preferred to have the one that just increases your trap placement time. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. He tried, and he did a pretty decent job, but ultimately they just outplayed him very well. So, I don't know. Tough one.
The score
Rue, what
is
do you think?
I can talk about it after post game.
Okay, let's talk about it after post game. We'll do. Me too. I got thoughts too. We'll do post game review in just a moment, or in just a second. Just hang tight. as I switch. There we go. Switch my little thing around. By the way, Claudette bald there. Anyway, you're watching Week 3 matchup, conference rivals, Loop Artists versus Pretty Good Squad. This is your post-game review. This was trial number 2. And this is what you witnessed. 5 generators getting done. This is where it's going to start to hurt. 4-man escape for Loop Artists. Really well done by the Survivor Squad. Only 2 hooks for Gothergy. The pain inside me when I say that, with 0 kills, of course. And also we saw a hatch out, which that is just hard. That's just hard. Loop Artists 28-5, bringing a strong lead for Loop Artists ahead. And why? What? Why? Anyway, their logo would normally be there, but yeah, sure. Just a circle with a fire around it, totally fine. That's totally normal. So anyway, Loop Artists leading going into the next trial. And here are the highlights. Rue, tell us what you think.
So I think it's a combination of things. I have played Hag against Loop Artists before. They are no stranger to how to play around Hag. As you saw, like as soon as you teleport, they're already very far away. It's very rare for you to get an actual ITH on them because honestly, they are looking at the ground so much, they probably know where your traps are. They also know the correct distance to trigger your trap and then immediately run away so you can't get the ITH. They are very experienced against Hag, I would say. In addition to that, that is not a build I would ever take on Hag. I think it does not do enough for Hag. Like I said, no monitor and abuse. I know you don't personally like it. I liked Corrupt Intervention because it lets you have a little bit more time for setup in some cases. Franklin's understandable. I don't hate Franklin's on Hag. However, I think I would prefer it sloppy in something else. I don't think there's enough synergy going against a team like Loop Artists that knows how to play around everything you're trying to do in the first place. I just don't think there's enough there. Honestly, I think Noah would have been a better slot here in a lot of places. So not a build I would normally bring. And again, I've only played against Loop Artists a handful of times, but when I took Hag, it was a very, very painful experience. I think I got 3 ITHs the entire game, and everything else, they were just completely messing with me the entire time. I think they call out trap locations. I can't say for sure because I don't know, but I would say they probably call out trap locations, and they know how to disable your traps. And you saw as soon as they went for that first hook they got, I think they lost 4 traps during that time. Because again, good survivors, when a Hag picks up a survivor to hook them, it's go crazy and run around and see how many traps you can disable. And they did that. And after that point, I don't think they had more than 5 traps done at any time. It's tough playing Hag against this group. It is tough.
Yeah, that's the thing that I keep emphasizing when I play Hag is like, if you go up against a really strong team that knows how to counter Hag, Hag is going to struggle. She really is. And you have to be a lot more unpredictable and not try to go for too many ITHs like you were saying, and instead just try to rely on taking your teleports and chasing them down in that moment and hope for the best. Like right there, just way far away. She tripped it from a good distance, and that's what we saw a lot of, is just them tripping it at the edge and running away from the edge of the traps. Very smart play, and amazing that they can actually see it, because I as a survivor, I often don't see the traps on the floor. But they're paying attention. They got their eyes open. They know what to look for.
One thing, too, that's also unfortunate is that you're playing a 110 killer. And I know that Gothergy is a very, very good M1 115 killer. So they're just also not able to chase normally either. So,
right.
And if you're denied the mental game of playing Hag, it's not a fun time. And we saw Pop never get used hardly because they never got any hooks.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That was heartbreaking. And this one hook that they got on Nancy, it was on the opposite side of their 3-gen. Like the complete opposite side.
Another perk I really find useful, and again though, this wouldn't really have done Gothergy a lot of good because he didn't get a lot of hooks, but if he had maybe played a bit smarter with monitor and abuse perhaps and nurses calling, and then not gone for too many ITHs, because he did get a little greedy with trying to get those. If he had gotten a couple of more downs, I would have had Devour Hope ready instead of perhaps Franklin's or Pop Goes Weasel. One of those two would have gone. I probably would have gotten rid of Franklin's personally for this one, but I don't know. That's a tough choice between Pop and Franklin's, but
I only bring Franklin's if I see a flashlight.
Yeah, that would be where it becomes very important, I think, is if you see flashlights.
Which, fun fact,
Anyway.
if they find out you don't have Franklin's and they didn't bring a flashlight, they'll go check chests to see if they can get one.
That's true. They will
Because
do
they're
that. So
rude.
you gotta survivors be rude, man. You gotta think about these kind of things. You really do. I mean, and these teams are no joke. If they don't see Franklin's, they might have gone for a flashlight. That's a very good point. So I probably still might have brought Franklin's, skipped gen regression completely, and instead just gone for Devour Hope and hope to get some early pressure, some exposed status at 3 hooks, and hope for the best, because that's something that can be really strong, especially with the new update coming. Undying is going to let the stacks of Devour Hope transfer at least once, or only once, obviously.
True.
Undying goes down after once. So I think we're going to see that a lot more in play as well. You might see Undying coupled with Devour Hope, and that could be fun.
One thing I will say,
strong.
too, that they did really well, you saw that Nia was gen tapping that last gen to get it right at the 99 mark, and it was because Ace was going down for the save, and they were in chase like, okay, pop it now, I get adrenaline, go down, get the save, bar time, just really well coordinated. Really well coordinated. I expect nothing less of Loop Artist.
Yeah, and for those
Oh
who are
my
wondering,
goodness.
I did say it in chat as well, but somebody asked what ITH means. ITH means instant teleport hit. What it really means is that when I'm saying don't go for ITH, I'm saying take the teleport, but don't immediately swing because it slows you down, and instead go for the chase a little bit and then take the swing when you catch up. Especially with this team, after you see them do that twice, maybe even 3 times, just stop. Just stop going for ITHs. Just don't do it anymore, because you're
Like,
going to miss
you can
all of them
still-
probably.
You can still get them. You just have to know when the survivors are expecting to trip them, when they're not. Because a lot of them, a lot of the traps they had placed weren't really, like, you can see them on the ground. Whereas putting them in the grass is a lot more difficult. But again, you don't have monitor and abuse, so they know your vicinity. They're constantly looking at you. They're probably either calling out your traps or disabling them as soon as they see that you put them. So
And this,
that's why it
by the way,
really matters, that early game setup.
this may or may not be a trivial point. I don't know, but his skin isn't very blendy in this map. And for me, I like to go for the dark green, sort of, or the dark black color that she has. It makes it harder for them to see you, and especially if you're using monitor and abuse, it's quite good, I've found, to use that. Now, especially against a team like this, they may or may not see you anyway, but it could buy you a couple extra seconds just to catch up to them a little bit and sneak up on them. I don't know.
I mean, if you had monitor and abuse.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Dark Devotion has its place as well. I'm not going to say it's a bad perk, but it's definitely not as ideal, I think.
Yeah, it was just it's not a build that I think is super relevant in the league as far as competitiveness goes, and it's also just like you said, Loop Artist is a really well-rounded team that knows how to play against a hag. Just a lot of things going against Gothorgy going into this match. I wonder what they're going to bring next.
I don't know. I want to try something really quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, what's up?
I'm going to try. Okay, we're going to try this. Give me a second. You can keep talking for 1 minute while I set this up.
I can keep talking for a full minute? Oh, boy.
I know.
Anyway.
A full minute.
Yeah, I think... And honestly, the fact that the Nancy kind of started, or at least ran into the web early on, when Gothorgy was trying to set up that early web, was pretty bad for them, too. Because you want a pretty good amount of time to set up that web and not be disturbed so they know, like, they don't know what's going on. And it just didn't happen. He never got a full setup, I don't think. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
is that
I like
Devour
the way
Hope?
that looks. That is Devour Hope right there. And this is one of the perks that I like to bring on Hag quite a lot. And the other one that we were talking about was Dark Devotion, which, if this works, it should switch over. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to do it manually. And that's fine. I'm going to have to do it manually. Hold on. Wait for everything to turn white for a second. Then turn into what we're looking for. I know, it's crazy. Dark Devotion. This is the perk that he brought. So basically, you become obsessed with one survivor, hitting the obsession with a basic attack, and it's a terror radius of 32 meters. This is where this is difficult for me, because he only brought this one perk. There was really no synergy with the rest of the build, like no obsession perk other than this one. And if I were going to do this, I would have brought something else that works on the obsession, like Furtive Chase or something like that. But so that way you can switch your obsession around.
What I will also say with Dark Devotion that doesn't work here is that, one, you're playing against a Swift in comms, which a good Swift in comms will say, oh, he has Dark Devotion, or hey, they're over here. They'll call it where you are. And two, it's not an indoor map. Indoor maps are like the only places I think Dark Devotion working at a competitive setting, because line of sight is so often blocked, you can't confirm whether or not they're actually on your tail still.
Right.
And that is a very, very open map. So they would know whether or not you're chasing them. It's just...
It's tough.
You know.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
So they're all in here. I don't know if they're waiting on me or somebody else, but they're all just kind of sitting here for a while now. But nobody's readied up yet.
With family.
Is there something going on behind the scenes we should know about, Sam? Or is it, are they just still setting up? Excuse me. Pardon me.
Some people had to reset, so they may have to redo their builds.
Okay. Oh yeah, here they go now. Okay. So I guess they had some problems, had to reset something, and that's fine. What did you guys think of that perk thing that we just did? That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
I liked it.
Yeah, I set that up. I spent about 2.5 hours the other day taking every single perk and their description from the wiki, and putting it into a spreadsheet so we can list it on the screen. It did take me a while, and it was mind-numbing, but it was worth it, I think. That looked pretty cool, and I think we're going to do more of that, looking at perks and things in the post-game. So, Rue, if there's anything you want to talk about perk-wise, we can always show it on the screen anytime you want, and that's fun. I like that.
Augie, do you access your wiki with your Wi-Fi?
Yes. Yes, I do, sir. Oh my god, I'm black. I didn't mean that in a negative way. I was just surprised. It was just a surprise, okay? I was like, whoa. Whoa, I'm a black guy. And I turned into a big shadow, apparently, because my camera turned itself off. But we're good.
We're gonna get canceled.
No, we're not.
Cancel Poggy. Get hashtag cancel Poggy.
I didn't do anything. It's hot in here, by the way. Hang on. Oof. Ooh, I'm getting sweaty watching these teams. Whew. Well, I think they're all readying up.
Okay.
Well,
that's
what?
good. That's good.
Well, what? Haley Hades says, well, what? I don't know what they're whatting. I don't know. What? I
have no idea. I don't know. I don't know what chat's doing at any given time. Am I the parent of chat? Do I control chat? No, I don't.
No, I am the mother of
we
chat.
We need a bonking stick.
A bonking stick?
We need the bonking. Yes, we need the chat bonking stick.
Here's my bonking stick.
Yeah. Hey. That looks sus.
Sus? No.
Yeah, it looks sus.
It's part of my barbell set. You can actually take my barbells and screw them into this, and then have one long, the long one. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, that's
modular.
Nice.
It's modular. They're all rated up, by the way, and they're getting ready to go in right now to trial number 3.
Let's go.
Which it's not really displaying properly, but we'll fix that in just a second. And while we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be looking at the rules videos for Survivor in just a moment. But I'm going to go ahead and reset these just really fast before we get into the next trial, so that way everything works.
Hashtag
I don't want to get distracted again. Pause the pog. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to you people.
Chat knows your sins.
All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivor's side earns their... Oh, God. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivor's side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each, 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point, 2 escapes is worth 2 points, 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the Survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points. Counting down. Everything's breaking today. We're back here again, and we're going to be watching PGS versus Loop Artists in Trial number 3. 29-41, current score going into Trial 3, in favor of Loop Artists, for those of you that missed it. And we're going to be loading in right now, actually. Right this very second. Let's do some spectating and see what we got. Sergeant Bishop, 2008. Cybot Lel. Lex, 0613. Asteroid, 621. Gothergy on a Spirit. Changing up his killer. Going for something significantly stronger. And he's running a build that actually... I think we were discussing a very similar build for not my Spirit. the Spirit earlier today. But... let's not give away any details because it's a secret. And you'll find out in a minute. Once we see some of these perks go off, you might know what that one is right away. The Survivor's getting some gens done quick in this early game. And that gen is out of the game already. One gen down. Gothergy's bald self chasing after Nia. Switching targets, though, instead gonna go for... Ace. And is he phasing right now? Yeah, he was phasing for a moment, I think. Going instead for Sergeant Bishop. Having trouble being committal. I think maybe Mike going for Cybot. Yeah, very nice. Cybot using this blockade here. Ooh, baiting out a whiff, too. Gothergy's struggling today to get... a lot of downs and kills. Let's see if he's able to come back from it in the Spirit game. Ooh, and another whiff. What's going on here?
I don't know.
Me neither. He does finally get the hit on Nancy, though. Very nice play all around the pallet. Nancy throwing the pallet a little preemptively. And may actually be getting it down in just a moment. Ooh, but another gen pops in the process. Ace getting away. Just barely able to squeak out from that. And Gothergy finally getting the hit on Ace with his nice long sword. Sergeant Bishop and Nancy, though, working on another gen, and it's about to pop as well. That'll be 3 gens very quick. Loop Artist is doing an excellent job. He does finally get it down, and that'll be first look for Gothergy, but at what cost? 3 generators have fallen very early in this game. Only 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. And they are resetting Cybot. And Lex is getting into the basement. Ooh, that's going to be rough. As they start to work on more generators, are they going to leave Lex in the basement, or are they going to go for the basement? And Sergeant Bishop is kind of kicked off of the totem. Worried about potentially getting hit at the totem or even grabbed off of it. But Cybot might be going in for the unhook right now. Asteroid still working on their gen, uninterrupted. Gothergy checking by the entrance of basement, leaving his carcass behind. At the basement
carcass.
door. Yeah, his carcass, yeah. And Gothergy is, again, not really getting a ton of pressure right now. And we did also see a totem drop. The basement unhook happens while he's pretty far away from it as well. Oof. I can't really tell if this is Loop Artist playing extremely good or Gothergy just playing really bad today. If he's just really, really struggling and another totem drops. Asteroid, ooh, does take a hit, doesn't get the pallet drop, unfortunately, and does have to leave Killer Shack. Asteroid 621 probably going to be quite careful. Ooh, takes a nice Styptic agent as well. Brilliant play by Asteroid 621. And these survivors are still working on gens. They've been stuck at 2 gens for a couple of minutes now. So maybe there's just enough pressure for Gothergy at the moment, but how long is that going to last? He lands the hit on Cybot. So now 2 people injured. One of them just finished mending off of deep wounds. And Gothergy does get the down on Cybot. Very nice. Exactly what he needs right now. And I guess our hook counter's not working, so let me fix that really quick while we're working on this. And of course, we see that generator they were working on getting done pretty quick, too. And he may or may not be able to pressure it in time. Let's see how he does. No, he's not even going to pressure it. Ooh, that is not good. One generator remaining for Gothorgy. Is he going to actually... Is he going to get it? Is he going to, like, get another down or a kill? Is he going to get a good score for his team or not? I don't know. Is there a good 3-gen here? Cybutlel doing a deliverance play. By the way, didn't he get a hook on Nancy?
Yes.
I think you're missing a hook.
Is that there?
I think so. Was it Lex or
Okay.
Who was it? Ladies and gentlemen, if you remember who was hooked in this game, because I think we missed one of the hooks.
It was Nancy, so I think that's Lex.
I think there was only the one hook.
Was there only the one? I thought he got it. No, there was a basement hook on... It was on Ace. That's who it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
It
had
was
one
on
on Nancy
Ace.
and one on Ace.
Yeah, it was on Lex. So, yeah, that's correct. He got a basement hook. I remember.
He had a carcass in the basement.
Yeah, he left the carcass by the basement. Anyway, chasing now the Nia Asteroid 621 right around the Killer Shack again, and of course the pallet is gone, making Killer Shack a little less safe than it normally would be, but you could still use the wall. However, Asteroid decides not to do that, and instead goes for this pallet. Ooh, maybe gonna get caught right here if he's not careful. I think he gets downed. Tried to bait a hit instead of going for the pallet loop, but didn't actually get it and does go down, unfortunately, for them. And that'll be first hook for Asteroid. Now, these generators, again, they haven't really started working on that last generator. And there is something of a 3-gen here, by the way. There is kind of a 3-gen. It's pretty close, not extremely close together. A lot of whiffing, though, from Gothorgy. I don't know what is going on. Is it a ping issue?
Possibly. I don't know.
Oh, what happened? Hello? Okay, we're back in. I don't know what just happened. Lex 0613, again, another whiff. And they're fully reset, by the way. And we do see a borrowed time as well. Ooh, I think he messed that up. She went up to the top of the stairs, and Gothorgy went down. I heard it was Strider, and unfortunately, he did miss that. He could have probably got the hit on her. Oh, an interesting hiding spot for Sergeant Bishop, but he does get spotted right inside the Killer Shack and does take a hit, and maybe the next one to go down. That would be a single hook on every survivor. Now, he does have a pretty strong 3-gen that he can work around if he plays it right, but without Ruin up anymore, that's going to be much more difficult. He would need to want to... He would want to get a secured kill, like a confirmed kill on somebody. Mm-hmm. But he is going to get a hit on Lex, probably. Yeah, he gets the hit on Lex. The survivors probably want to try to reset at this point, again. Is he going to commit to chase? Maybe. Maybe not. No, he doesn't commit to chase. Instead, going back for the 3-gen. And again, just struggling. Lots of whiffing. Lots of whiffing. Which, to be fair, you do get blood points from whiffing. You can get a lot of deviousness points. Yeah, that really, to me, looks like a ping issue. I don't know. I can't really tell, but... Oh, and they do finish one of the generators, unfortunately, for Gothorgy. And we also see an adrenaline on one of the survivors. I think the other one healed. And Cybot does go down while Lex is working on the door and also getting a heal on Asteroid. Second hook for Cybot, Lel. Asteroid going into a chest for some reason. Not really sure the reasoning behind that. And Cybot is vanished for a moment. Oh, because he was still phasing. Ah, okay. Okay. Clever.
Is it just one exit gate open, or is it both?
Right now, it's just the one.
Okay.
We're going to keep cycling through to see what they do, but I'm pretty sure they might have to leave this because Gothorgy is going to camp it now. They are working on the other exit gate as we speak. And are probably going to get it open. That is a key,
Oh,
yes.
okay,
It's a green key.
Okay.
I don't think there's any intent to use it. I think they just picked it up.
Oh yeah,
They couldn't use it anyway.
I
It
saw her
doesn't do
searching the
anything.
chest.
Yeah, she did search a chest, yeah. Lex making their way out the door. They're going to leave Cybot out. No, you're not going to be able to get this unhook at this point. Yeah, everybody getting out. Nobody getting out by hatch. Just two exit gates open. No hatch play. And again, Gothology just struggling to make any good headway against this team.
Oof.
Really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. And his build, Hex Ruin, Hex Undying, Strider, and Tinkerer. Not a bad selection of perks, really. I mean, kind of what I would expect to see, really. But it didn't really work out for him. There was just a lot of whiffing, and like I said, I don't know if it was a ping issue or what. I can't say for sure.
Might have been mind games. I don't know.
It might have been, but I don't know. There was abnormally high amount of whiffing. Like, it seemed to me like the whiffing was extreme.
Yeah,
I can't say for
that's
sure.
fair. There were a lot of pretty large misses. Not anything close. That's fair. Again, Loop Artist is a good survivor team. They are really good.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we're going to be going into Trial 4 in a moment, and I guess the score is ready, so we're going to go into the post-game review, and we'll be right back after this. All right, folks, you're watching Week 3 matchup Conference Rivals Loop Artist versus Pretty Good Squad. This is your Trial number 3 post-game review. You're watching Vigo's Court. Hope you're enjoying the show, everyone. This is what you just witnessed. You saw 5 generators getting done by Loop Artist. Well played overall, in my opinion. And 3-man escape. So not too bad at all. Only one person dying on hook with 4 total hooks from Gothology. Really rough game for this Spirit with only a 1K, unfortunately. So a lot of lead there for Loop Artists. 24-10 in trial number 3. Going into trial number 4, it's going to be Loop Artists leading, and I'm pretty sure they're far enough ahead that they can't actually come back from this PGS unless there's some significant failures on the part of Loop Artists, but we'll see.
It's only up 26.
I'm saying I don't think they
Right.
can come back from this. I think they could theoretically come back from it. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, heard. Fair enough. Yeah, you're I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You never know what's going to happen in Vigo's Court.
Yeah, it significantly depends here. I think that, yes, it is heavily favored for Loop Artists, but we have seen a team absolutely shred in the points category before and come back.
I mean, to be fair, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I'm just not seeing it. It's not in the stars, in my opinion. I'm feeling fairly confident Loop Artist is going to take a W. The only thing I think that could make them lose is if the game is decently ahead for PGS and Loop Artist gets a bunch of penalties from like an incorrect map or whatever. Like, my alarm's going off. Sorry.
A penalty would be a thing, sure.
So if they were playing Killer, I would agree with you. But I think playing Survivor last and being down gives you the chance to actually be able to come back. Because you can hold a Killer to 1 or 2 hooks, as we've seen, right? You're highly unlikely to stop Survivors from doing any gens. So I feel like, and then there again, Survivors have the ability to deny you points by just killing themselves on hooks. So I kind of feel like there's a position where you can come back from. It's when you play on the Survivor side last.
But that's the thing, though, Sam, is killing themselves on hook is not going to benefit them as much because they need to come out ahead. So if they're killing themselves on hook, they're not getting escape points, which means they're not going to be getting enough points to pull ahead of Loop Artist. So they have to actually get a full 4-man escape, I think, to actually take it home. And I don't really see that. I just don't see it. I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I just don't see it.
My point of view is more of, so I'll agree for the most part with Sam, but there is a counter to that too, and it's a mentality change for the Killer side, which is I don't have to worry about them getting gens done. I can let them do that. I'm just going to try and get as many hooks as possible and go that route. Like, I don't care about confirmed kills. I just want to, get X amount of hooks to secure the fact that they can't come back from this. And so the mentality of the killer changes to, oh, I have to juggle gens, I have to deny them points. No, just sandbag and make sure you get X amount of hooks and you're good to go. So, I don't know. It's a mental game. I'm
not saying I'm certainly not saying it's impossible, but given the strength of these teams and how close they were going into it in terms of their stats, I think what we're going to see is either a very close game or not a game that has enough of a gap for PGS to pull ahead. Maybe. It's like I said though, it is up for grabs at this point. And Sam is right. The fact that they're surviving last does give them at least a potential advantage. They did a really good job in their first game with the Survivor Squad. So I mean they could definitely pull out at least a tie or a W possibly. I'm just not feeling too confident. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm not trying to be a naysayer, and I do like this team. I do want to see them do well.
No, I understand. And to be fair, we have seen like both sides have shown that they are incredibly strong Survivor squads. So
right,
there is that too.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
We'll see. We will see. Oh, when we're ready to go.
Yeah, we are, and we're going to look at the rules one last time for today, and we'll be back again, by the way, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, in case you forgot what time we'll be back, and we'll be doing cross-examinations after this, so stay tuned after trial number 4. Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Alright, everybody, we're back here again. Conference Rivals, Week 3 matchup. Loop Bardis versus Pagus PGS. So far, it's been a very fun matchup, although we've seen Gothergy really struggle as killer. But then again, so did Loop Bardis' first killer. So again, they have a good point that they could make it a comeback. We'll see. We'll see how they do. And it's loading in now. We're just about in right now, actually. Fun times. Here we go. And we see Cybot bringing a pig. On a map like this, pig can be pretty devastating. Lots of hidey spots and difficult to see. So it could be a very strong killer. And of course, you know, that time advantage that you get with those hats as well. So Cybot is kind of just starting off by looking around for survivors. We also see Corrupt Intervention in play. And I'm almost certain there's a Hex Ruin in play as well. I guess we'll find out. These survivors being very cautious not to get caught out. And it seems like she's wearing a brown outfit, which not a bad idea on this map. I mean, it kind of makes it hard to see, for sure. So not only are you a blendy killer, you're a stealth killer as well. And that's kind of what I was getting at with the Hag. I think Gothergy may have had a better time with Monitor on his killer if he had also brought a more greenish or dark green killer skin. Ooh, and a nice dead hard from Goth's Princess going into Killer Shack now. This is going to make it tough for Cybot. She does not fall for the mind game and does drop the pallet early. Very nice play. And we do see Hex Ruin dropping, by the way. And apparently there's no undying because that gen is still going. And so I don't think it's going to be regressing. I think that was Hex Ruin and that's it. And Goth's Princess getting first hook and hat. Mr. Beautiful working on their generator, nearly completing it. Probably going to finish it up. Depends on if the killer is privy. Now the killer is going towards the Sanctum of Wrath. Finding instead Gothergy up here on the top of it, running away. And she's not going to follow that. Instead, she's going to go back towards the gen that just finished. And towards the hook as well, which is now activated as a result of the completed gen. Getting a hit on Pretty Good Fang. Now going to commit to chase, probably. Maybe. No, switches targets back to Goth's Princess. Maybe going for a tunnel play. Now, we do know that in the first game she had Decisive Strike, so she may have it again, and Cybot may be aware of that, and instead is going to leave her on the ground for a bit. Which is pretty smart. Gothorgy taking aggro from the killer, but being the looper that he is gonna scare Cybot away. And instead, Cybot gonna go back for Goth's Princess, who is nearly fully recovered. But again, doesn't pick her up. Still afraid of DS. Gothorgy does take a hit right by the Sanctum of Wrath stairs. And now Cybot appears to be going back for Goth's Princess. And no DS, unfortunately. That minute did pass. Oh, but a nice Savo play from Mr. Beautiful. But it's not enough as they are able to get to the next hook. But that was a good Savo play nonetheless. Extra blood points are what they are, I suppose. Second hook for Goth's Princess. Still the only one to be wearing a hat right now, and only one gen completed. Ooh, Gothorgy running into a rock, even though we did see Cybot respecting the pallet. He wasn't able to get enough distance because of the mistake hitting that rock around the loop. Gonna get a kick on the gen.
So, real talk
the
about the rocks in this map, they do spawn into structures really weird sometimes like that.
They do, yeah, the geometry can be really strange. The geometry can be difficult to work around. And Mr. Beautiful now in chase around Killer Shack as we see the pig trying to mind game and then backing away from the chase, I think. Goth's Princess is struggling right now, and I think Cybot is going for a confirmed kill. They're going to maybe have to gang up on this to get the unhook. But I don't see it happening. They have like 2 seconds left, and I think that is GG for Goth's Princess, who is dying with a hat on still. And we've only seen one hat so far, so an early kill from Cybot, who went for the confirmed kill. And now getting a hit on Mr. Beautiful. Pretty good Fang working on their gen. Gothorgy working on theirs as well. And I think this could be curtains for a pretty good squad tonight. Cybot committing to chase with Mr. Beautiful. Baiting out the hit. Very nice play by Mr. Beautiful to bait that. But it wasn't enough distance, unfortunately, and does go down and takes another hat while a generator completes. These survivors are no joke. They definitely want to get these generators done. Gothorgy working on his gen as well. Thank you. Thank you for making my ears bleed. Appreciate it, Kate. Thank you. Sing into my ears some more.
Screaming in the morning.
Yeah, really. Yeah, the best part of waking up is survivors in your ear. So where is this killer? Are they chasing this direction? I think they might be pushing Fang this way. Yeah, Fang is looking a little bit concerned about this because she is injured. And I think Gothorgy's going to finish another gen, so still going to get another gen out of the way. But ultimately does end up going down, and Gothorgy may have to go for a quick unhook on Mr. Beautiful. Perhaps 99ing their gen. Yeah, he got off that generator and is now running for the unhook. You're going to want to get that before this hook happens, but it's not going to make it. And now this is going to give him a chance to pressure the hook. This could be a problematic situation for a pretty good squad. And I believe we're seeing Gothorgy, of course, had borrowed time. And yeah, exactly. Mr. Beautiful takes the borrowed time hit, gets that distance that they need to get away. And Gothorgy now going in for the second unhook. Cybot Lel coming in for a crouch play. Gothorgy doesn't go for the unhook, instead running away, leaving Fang on the hook a little bit longer. And instead, Mr. Beautiful might go for the unhook. Instead, we'll see. No, he's going for a mending right now, which is smart. You want to get that mend out of the way. Has the killer discovered that generator that was 99? I wonder. No, I think not. Pretty good. Fang does finally get unhooked. Runs toward the killer to take the borrowed time hit. Very nice. I probably would have tried to just walk up against her for 15 seconds and then take the down. But maybe that's just me. I'm a bit of a psycho. Who knows? Cybot does a really good job, though, so far, getting 4 hooks with 3 gens done and already having 1 confirmed kill on Goth's Princess. This could be either a long endgame or a quick endgame, depending on how these survivors play it. And Mr. Beautiful is now taking aggro, but doesn't... Oh, I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, no. Mr. Beautiful going to get hooked now. Second hook for Mr. Beautiful, and a basement as well. That is hard to look at. That's tough to watch. And Fang now having to work on the boxes to get her hat off. And I think this is where the decision to 99 that generator came into play, was we don't want to activate the hats. That had to be what they were thinking.
For sure.
Because then that gives them even more pressure, and they're already under enough pressure as it is. Gothology does go for the unhook. I'm pretty sure Cybot's right around the corner, though, and is going to go for a hit. Misses the first hit. May be able to secure the hit on Beautiful. Oh, Mr. Beautiful does go down. Unfortunately, no borrowed time because she was crouched, so there was no terror radius. And Cybot is leaving Mr. Beautiful on the floor. So I'm just kind of watching right now. This is a very slow progression to the end game. Even though I feel like this is favoring Cybot right now, like 10-1 favoring Cybot, I still feel like these survivors are doing a decent job to recover a little bit and get out of it. I mean, they may even be able to do a full heal recover. Pretty good Fang, though, now in the chase, and may end up going down quickly. She does use Lithe to get some extra distance, working her way toward the pallet over here at the jungle gym. Tries to bait it, doesn't really get it, though, and does go down right on the outside, and that'll be second hook for Pretty Good Fang. But Gothology is pushing on these generators, and this will be 2 generators back-to-back if they do it correctly. I don't think they're going to get to
points on the board, though. I think it's
no, they
officially
don't.
over with.
Yeah.
No, it is. It is game over, I'm pretty sure.
I think the killer only needed 3 or 4 hooks to make a lead that they can't come back from.
Right. And we do see the generator completing. Mr. Beautiful's hat finally starts to activate, but he has already done 1 or 2 boxes and doesn't have to do with that many more. Pretty Good Fang, though, will have to do some boxes once she gets off the hook, if she's able to get it. I think that the smartest play that I saw, though, was when Cybot, instead of running straight down to the basement hook, used his crouching to remove his terror radius to remove the borrowed time from play, which was really smart play.
He tried to do that before, it just didn't work out. I think he came out too early.
I think so, too. I think he's just a little bit too early on the coming out. But it worked out that time, and yeah, definitely using that strategically, it worked really well. And Gothology working his way around the TNL wall. And we saw him healing himself a little bit, but did not activate any sort of styptic agent or anything. And he's very good at handling these TNL loops. As we can see very clearly, he's doing an excellent job. We do see him going for the unhook, Mr. Beautiful, but Gothology does go down inside the window. And again, 1 hat remaining. I think that was the last hat for Cybot. All the hats will be... Well, no, only 2 of them are active right now. Gothology's would be active if another gen gets done. And definitely want to work on getting that off of your head, my good friend. Definitely want to get that off your head. Pretty Good Fang is dedicated, though. She wants to finish this generator. I'm surprised at how well they've done with only 3 survivors alive for the last, like, 6 minutes or so. It's pretty impressive. Mr. Beautiful getting a free heal as well. Adrenaline heal, was it? No. Okay, no. Inner strength, I think it was. And now this is where... Yeah, this is where we're going to see things maybe take a turn as what they might not be expecting is a no-ed, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, Yep, Cybot bringing out a Noed. Very nice play, and that'll be third hook for Mr. Beautiful, and this is definitely GG for this team, even if they all escape right now, which obviously Pretty Good Fang couldn't escape unless she gets out by Hatch. And Gothragy's hat active as well. So really, somebody's got to get a hat off because they can't go out the exit gates with active hats. And she's working on that right now, but unfortunately gets scared off of it and does a little boop of the snoot, but it's not enough. Cybot says, screw you and your snoot booping self. I'm going to hit you anyway. Bite me. Well, that was cute. Thank you for the snoot boop, Pretty Good Fang. We appreciate that. I love the snoot boop. I'm glad somebody did it, and it had to be the captain of the team, of course.
Of course. Naturally.
Ooh, Gothragy also going down. Again, Noed is just devastating this team, and that is GG, folks. That's going to be it right there. Oh, boy. Loop Artist coming out strong in trial number 4 with this pig. I knew this pig would be a good choice. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, this map is well designed for pig games, for sure. The stealth play that you can get on it, the fact that there's so many walls and lots of grass to hide in, and this outfit of course, the brown color of the outfit, brownish green. Hard to see the pig. Really well done. And
this
is he going to get the hatch
a very
kick?
different
No.
game.
Yeah, it was a very different game, yeah.
From what we saw at the beginning, because
Yep.
Oni, they did not do nearly as well as they did with Pig here. That was a stark difference.
Right. Major difference, and it turned the whole game around, giving them a massive lead going into the last one. What did I press? What did I do? Let's go back to that. There we go. Sorry, I don't know what I did there.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, that was impressive
Wow.
play all around. Shut up, Rue. God. That is so rude.
Wow.
All right, I'll see myself out.
Okay. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of that?
The end was brutal.
Yeah, it was. It was. Oh, man. That was exactly what they needed, too, was that confirmed kill, and that was enough to just completely one-side the rest of the game.
That was... Oh, my goodness. And, again, those are the two add-ons that I like, adding an extra box to the map and decreasing the timer by 30 seconds. Honestly, this was a kind of a sandbaggy build for Pig, in my opinion. You only have Ruin, you only have Corrupt, you don't have Undying, but you have Pop and Noed. So it feels like you're trying to make them wait for 2 minutes, get Ruin out of the way, and like, oh, wait, Ruin's gone? They don't have Ruin? You get that first down, you get the first hat going, and then you just let the game play out from there.
Right.
Seems like a very hook-oriented build.
Are we ready to do our post-game review?
Yes.
Let's go, then. We'll be right back. All right, folks, you're watching Week 3 matchup, Conference Rivals, Loop Artists versus Bgus. Both teams did really well tonight, I think, overall. Although I think Gothragy struggled, but this is what you witnessed in this last trial. Trial number 4, 5 generators getting done. Really well done by the survivors. I mean, very close, with only 3 people alive, but we did see 0 escapes, unfortunately. That Noed and the 2 hats were just unbeatable, I think. And, of course, 10 hooks with a 4K. Beautiful performance by Cybot with a 90-51 final score. Fantastic showing by Loop Artist tonight. Struggle for PGS, and Loop Artist is convicted of murder. So well done by Loop Artist. Congratulations. And of course, we're going to be having some post-game reviews, post-game interviews, cross-examination, jeez. But here are the highlights from this game, and while we prepare, you can watch these. And we'll be back in a minute with some people from both teams to do some cross-exams.
Looks like we got a Pretty Good Fang already in here.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Let's get her on the horn.
Fang, you there?
Hola.
Hey,
Hello.
that was a really close game for most of the time. That
What?
was what?
No, it wasn't.
You guys had a fantastic showing at the beginning. I thought it was a very
We had
close
the
game up
strong
until the end.
start, and then they came in and whooped our ass. And it was GG's.
Well, okay. I guess I have no more questions. I'm kidding.
I have to agree with her on this one. As soon as that first killer game with Gothorgy was a shutdown by Loop Artist, and then the second one as well, I mean, that was just tough. At that point, it was not
over.
close. Yeah, it was over after that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys... How many encounters before have you guys had with Loop Artists? Or I guess in previous season, Bubba's Bullies?
I think we only versed them once, and we definitely lost.
Okay, I was curious because, like I said, I've played Hag against them one time, and it was heartbreaking for me. So
Yeah.
I was curious if... Does Gothorgy normally play Hag? Is that a preferred?
Gothorgy is a very strong hag, but on that map, hag's trash, and I don't know what that build was, so
Okay.
just a rough match.
So what do you guys think you're going to try and take away from this game and practice in the between the next game?
I didn't talk to Goth about what killers he was bringing in to this map beforehand. It's been an off week for our team. So I guess we're just gonna keep doing what we've been doing. I think it was just rough matches, shitty map, and really all the killers that we were trying on this map, it was just a rough time. So yeah.
Fair enough. Also, this clip right here, you did a really, really good job looping the Oni in that situation. I think you took like 30 seconds to do that loop before you eventually blocked it up and had to go away.
Thank you.
that was really fun to watch. That was one thing that was surprising is just how different they came out in the last match. Very different showings from Cybot LOL, but I've only seen them a couple times before.
Cybot or Saybot, I guess is how you say it. He's amazing. He's a really good killer and survivor both. I've watched a couple of his streams. And he's not to be messed with. So it was good matches, and Loop Artists did what they do.
Fair enough. And speaking of Cybot LOL, I think we have them in the waiting room. Can we bring them in? Cybot, are you there?
Hello?
Hey, there you are. That was a crazy turnaround in a performance. It seems like you really struggled on Oni, but the pig game was crushing. What was the difference there? What happened?
I definitely would say the traps really slow down the game, since Oni doesn't really have any slowdowns other than the perks. But yeah, it's just getting downs is their basics is Oni's slowdown. So like if you don't get any downs, then you're basically an M1 killer with no map pressure. So I wasn't taking advantage of that power at all. Or I didn't get any downs, basically. Yeah, that's why my Oni match was really tough.
Fair enough. Because yeah, I've only seen you a couple times, but the Oni game was very different from what I've usually seen. Because you're honestly a very good killer. So yeah, and definitely came back with that pig game. What was the what were you going for with the pig game? Because the build looked a bit different from what I see with pig. Like no one dying. Obviously, you expected Ruin to go away, so you got Pop goes away. So what was the thought there? Just playing it safe?
So, yeah, playing it safe by using Nowhere because it is an M1 killer. So usually M1... Wait, I don't know if I should say this, but... Okay, so M1 killers, I usually run Nowhere.
Huh?
M1 killers, yeah. So just because, like, they don't have a special ability, you know, to, like, down people fast. You're a basic M1 killer at the end of the day. So it makes it very difficult. And
That's
then,
fair.
Yeah, Corrupt, Ruin, and then Pop. Yeah, I didn't want to use Undying because it's really RNG based. Even though you have to find 5 totems or something like that. Yeah, it's really RNG based. And these guys, I think last match on my Oni match, they took my Ruin last. Yeah, so it didn't really. It did benefit me, but they were doing gens way better.
True, and it is PGS. They do tend to tackle totems pretty hard, so that is a good point.
Oh yeah, that Oni match, I got hit by 2 DS, so that's probably why it went pretty bad as well. I got both.
It is, I mean, pretty good things about to come in here and be like, we are not a totem team.
I mean, you know what? You guys keep thinking that. You go for it. Whatever messes you up, because not literally somebody, I can't remember who, just randomly said, oh yeah, they always do totems, and podcast was like, yeah, they're known for it. And literally, we were in a chat and we were like, we do totems? So I don't, whatever. Y'all think what you want to think. I don't care.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Totem Squad. I mean, I don't know much about any other teams. Like, I don't know much about other teams. This is like my first time coming into the league.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good showing so far, I would say. So,
Thank you.
all that said, we also saw you on Survivor. You guys were very, very coordinated when it came to Survivor. Do you guys see anything you guys need to practice the next game? Anything you want to work on? Anything you saw you want to do differently?
Okay, so yeah, coordinating like where to take hatch and stuff like that. If you're in our party chat, your ears are gonna go. they're gone. Like your ears are gone. We're literally screaming and everything.
Oh
so
no!
Something we could be working on is lowering our voices and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really intense when you're in the party.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know. I only play killer, so all I hear is my own voice.
Yeah, hopefully we get better with that. That's my main goal for this team. But everything else, I think we're doing pretty good.
Okay. Well, that's really all the questions that I had. Do you guys have anything to say to each other after that game?
I'm sorry for not letting you boot the pig.
Big time in my face. You already won. You could have just let me boot. The heck?
I mean,
Rematch.
yeah, it's a tournament at the end, so I had to give my best.
I hear you. GG's.
Yeah, because I wasn't
GG's.
keeping track, but yeah, GG's.
Oh goodness. Poggy was getting really excited when Fang was going for the Snoop Boop. I got a kick out of it.
Yeah, people probably hate me since I didn't let her boot.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what chat's reaction to it was. I wasn't paying attention at the time, but
You
we'll
did
see.
the right thing.
Anyway,
You did the right thing.
Yeah,
She had to die.
I'm not that type of pig player. But
Oh,
random survivors touch my snoot.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh goodness. Well, with that, do you guys have anything you want to say to the chat before we close this one out?
Thanks for the support, guys. We really appreciate it. Even in our downfalls, you guys are always there for supporting our team. I appreciate it.
GG easy.
Oh, goodness. Toxic. Oh,
He's like, you're
goodness.
boosted killer, not fair. GG easy.
Oh,
reported.
wow. Goodness. Uninstall. Oh, goodness. Anyway. Well, thank you both for coming in for interviews. I do appreciate it. And I guess we should probably wrap this one up. We got a game coming in at 10 p.m. because 7 p.m. was canceled. So
They conceded. D-Hop conceded to
cancel
Siphon.
Poggy.
48-0. Score Siphon D-Hop 0.
Indeed. And this game was Loop Artist 90, PGS 51. And Loop Artist coming out on top after that one. So, yeah. GG's to everybody. We will be back at 10 p.m. If you haven't already, check us out at vigoscourt.tv/merch. Check out our merch. We got t-shirts and stickers representing your favorite teams. You can get a Loop Artist or PGS shirt or sticker. I'm still waiting on my Undying shirt. I don't think it's going to come today. I'm kind of bummed, but hopefully soon. Hopefully for the next match I'll have it. Anyway, and yeah, we'll be back at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This has been Vigo's Court. I have been your Judge Little Rugard. This has been Poggy. And we will see you tonight. Have a great afternoon, guys.
So before the first gen even pops,
It make you wanna call my name.
trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.